Okay, my name is Alexi Mack. I was tasked with doing the cultural analysis of Cambodia for our project. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the introduction. So, Cambodia is an ancient nation with a very rich history, and it's currently still developing, but the rise of the digital age around the world has also brought smartphones and internet to this country. And as of 2019, the percentage of the population using the internet has increased to 98.5%, which is around 15.8 million people. So the majority of them. Uh, there's a lot of rural land in Cambodia, and it's mostly inhabited by farmers who are producing fruits and vegetables, rice, beef, and pork that feeds the nation, even those in the urban cities and the capital. Um, Cambodia is a family-centered society with many families living all together in uh, one single dwelling, which is really due to lack of space and affordable housing. And secondly, many Cambodians live on a very small income of around $3 to $5 a week. And most working class Cambodians work blue collar jobs in factories or on farms with super long hours, which really takes away time to rest and spend with family. So the Cambodian cuisine is a pretty nutritious one. Like I said before, it consists of vegetables, rice, beef, pork, and fish. But there is an issue with malnutrition, which is due to low income and sometimes low availability of food. For example, during the rainy season, there's much higher rice consumption rates. And this is due to a lower supply of beef and pork. And that really has to do with transportation issues. And to add to that malnutrition, uh, around 560,000 Cambodian children suffer from chronic malnutrition, and 46.8% of Cambodian women suffer from anemia due to malnutrition. So, with that said, I'd like to touch on the benefits of our service, Food Scoot. So, though there are already existing food and grocery delivery services in Cambodia, since the increase in internet usage, they're pretty pricey and they could be considered a luxury to the majority of Cambodians who live on low incomes. And we believe that Food Scoot's high affordability will make it a widely used and beneficial service. You know, food delivery should not be a luxury, especially with the times that we're in right now with the pandemic. As people begin to use Food Scoot to have their groceries and food delivered on demand, they'll also find that they have more time to dedicate towards spending time with family and relaxing. And as I mentioned in the previous slide, you know, many Cambodians work super hard. They're blue collar workers, and relaxation is hard to come by after, you know, working 12 plus hours in the factory or in a field and then having to find time to cook. And then lastly, we believe Food Scoot can be very beneficial to Cambodians, especially in the current time of the coronavirus pandemic. Our delivery service can help fight malnutrition by allowing us to become the middleman between the farmer and the grocery store consumer. And with corona cases rising, it is in the interest of many people to socially distance, to stay healthy, and especially to protect those vulnerable members of their family, since most of these families live all together. And we believe Food Scoot will help accomplish this by bringing the food to the doorstep, contact free, and for a price that working class Cambodians will be able to afford. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alexis, and I'll be covering the economic analysis of Cambodia. First, I will be discussing the population demographics. Cambodia has seen steady growth, and it now has a population of nearly 17 million due to their birth rate within the country. The people are split 25% in urban areas and 75% in rural. Their median age range is particularly low because of the genocide they suffered in the 70s. The most prominent age group is 25 to 35, and even bigger groups in the younger. 14% of its population is in poverty, and 60% is in lower income class, with a very, very small new wealth market in the cities. And as you can see, according to this chart, this is the UN projections of where the population will go. And you can see it kind of tapers off after it reaches its peak. And according to the Heritage Foundation, Cambodia's GDP is about 26 billion. And unlike its normal trend, mostly due to the pandemic, they are expected to decrease that by 4%. Although they have major trading partners like the US and China, they still find a deficit of about 3 million. The government has little restrictions on imports, just adds a value tax later on. And currently the US has an embargo based on corruption between Cambodia and China. But this is the first in decades. Their best exports are textiles, shoes, and agricultural products, and their biggest imports are gold, oil, and flavored water. They are also trying to attract foreign investment through public and private infrastructure, manufacturing, and agro-processing by offering 13 different special economic zones that help businesses with land, resources, and facilities, while also giving tax holidays for up to 8 years. It's pretty hard to resist. And finally, almost the entire population of Cambodia has access to mobile phones, so media and online ads are a useful marketing tactic. Phnom Penh is the largest city by far and is still growing with over 2 million as the current population. Very few malls are found in Cambodia, I think about 10 total, but they have made plans to double them by next year. Since the population is so young and can access the internet, Facebook users are surging there, while TV is still prevalent. Phnom Penh is a great starter city because of the young workforce, the easy target marketing, and the culture of staying home now, and the massive population. Thank you.
Now moving to the market audit and competitive market analysis. So while Cambodia saw food delivery services enter the market in the early 2010s, the COVID-19 crisis has created a surge in demand for online resources and orders. We can see that looking at the chart to the right from Statista, which has been adjusted for the expected impact of COVID-19, that right now we are seeing a predicted revenue of $183 million by the end of this year. And by 2025, we expect that to increase to $313 for the year of 2025. And then looking at the green and dark blue, so electronics and media and food and personal care, we expect that our delivery service will fall in between those two, and we'll get to take part if we choose to invest and enter the market in Cambodia in this share of revenue for that year. So for example, one of our future competitors, Grocerdale, an online service that delivers farm fresh local produce around the capital of Phnom Penh, has seen a 165 increase in their sales alone this year with the impact of COVID-19 and the rise of demands. So while commerce is still in its early stages of development here, we are proposing that our company introduce a food delivery service that meets the sudden demand for a safer delivery solution of local goods in response to COVID-19. So more about the product. Food Scoot, which is a play on words with the combination of food and then scoot, a shortened version of scooter, which refers to what our riders will be using to deliver food, is a meal and grocery delivery app that is entering the market to help meet the large demand for e-commerce in the urban areas of Cambodia. The relative advantage that we believe we will see is that instead, unlike our competitors like Grocerdale, we will offer services in not only Phnom Penh, but also Siem Reap and Sihanoukville to provide consistency for customers by consolidating to just our app, regardless of where they travel in the country, so that they will be familiar with our interface on our app and the standards we have for our company and our riders as they deliver goods to our customers. We will further ensure that our workers are proficient in English so as to appeal to any expats and tourists that might be in the area traveling to each of these locations, which have been known to be the tourist attractions of Cambodia. And then further, for compatibility's sake, we believe by offering employees being paid a competitive wage above the minimum wage to promote a decent standard of living as compared to our other competitors, that we can attract enough employees to begin our service. Further, we plan to offer delivery 7 days a week, so regardless of the day, as long as the markets and the restaurants are open for business, so are we to service our customers in these areas. Further, we plan to offer the digital forms of safe and secure payments. So for our locals and for our tourists, we can offer things like the Visa payments or anything like that, as well as the local payments that are considered secure that they can use electronically without contact with our riders. And then further, we will offer full contactless delivery and equip our riders with safety gear in order to properly disinfect and then leave things safely at the doorstep of our customers. As far as complexity goes, we don't believe, given that the food delivery services entered the market in 2010, that our app and service will be considered complex by the users in the urban areas, given that, again, they entered the market in 2010 and have seen a boom in their demand in 2018. For trialability, to entice people to use our product, we will offer free delivery on their first order, so they can just use the service with just the price of buying the goods. And then we will offer a $5 reward after they use the service 5 times to use further in future orders. And then finally, we plan to offer a $10 reward to use for future orders anytime they refer a friend. And moving to observability, we believe that by marketing towards how our customers will save time, by having someone else do the cooking, by ordering from a restaurant, or by having someone do the grocery trip, that they will have more time to connect with their loved ones, or if they're tourists, to go out on their next adventure as they explore the wonders of Cambodia, that our services will be able to help them do that in a safe way.
As previously mentioned, Food Scoop plans to cover the 3 major cities that have the most human traffic. Within these cities, transportation is typically shared. With COVID-19 taking over the world, limiting the need to enter cities and interactions with people will in turn limit the spread. Luckily, Cambodia's technology is improving, and 96 to 99% of people have phone access, 50% of which have access to a smartphone. 40% of the population having internet access sets our company up to reach more people. The food delivery industry is set to reach a $13 billion value in the next 2 years. So this is prime time to enter the market. There are several competitors in the market, such as Food Panda and GrocerDel, but they are limited to a small geographical area. A study showed that 88.2% of people said they preferred to cook/eat at home, as it is tradition and cost effective. We plan to create a competitive advantage by offering lower prices to a larger area. Investors are ready with millions to invest in the food delivery in this economy because it's on the rise. The more technology improves, the more advertising we're able to put out. This service will not only improve the lives of those who put in orders by making their lives easier, but will also provide jobs that offer above the minimum wage, which in turn will stimulate the economy further.
And then in conclusion, we recommend that by again looking at another Statista chart that again has been adjusted for the expected impact of COVID-19, that we are seeing that the e-commerce penetration rate is predicted to grow another 15.6%, or in other words, to 7.8 million users in Cambodia by 2025. So we believe that by looking at that penetration rate and seeing the increase of internet use and e-commerce being more and more relevant in Cambodia, that by choosing to start introducing the service that Food Scoop can offer to Cambodia, this is a great opportunity for our company to enter the market and compete and have a share of that projected revenue of $313 million in U.S. currency by bringing a food delivery service to the 3 urban areas of Cambodia.